So microlearning offers several benefits. By that definition and by the importance, it increases engagement. That's really the number one in the literature. Microlearning offers practical and effective approach to delivering targeted learning experiences that align the needs and preferences. Because it is aligned to their interests and that therefore their engagement is also high. Second, improve knowledge retention, flexibility, and cost effectiveness. When we say increase engagement, the bite-sized nature of microlearning encourages active engagement and participation from learners, leading to enhanced retention of information. That is why by delivering the small and manageable chunks, this strategy promotes better retention and recall of information over time. And I think that is very self-explanatory. It's just like if you are given only a very specific information, it's easy to recall rather than a complicated information, isn't it? Right? 'Di ba? Like if someone will ask us with too many questions, it's too difficult also to answer because there are too many questions. So normally we said hinay-hinay lang or take it easy or one by one. That's basically the idea there. Microlearning allows learners to access content at their own pace and on their own schedule, accommodating different learning styles and preferences. We know that there is a so-called multiple intelligences, and that in order for us to balance and to have common denominator to them, because let's be practical. We cannot create learning journeys to all kind of multiple intelligence that we have in our class. If there are kinesthetic type of learners, if there are intrapersonal type of learners, if there are mathematical, we cannot dare to provide several learning journeys for them. So microlearning can be a common denominator to them. Make it short to all of them. It's cost effective. Why? Compared to traditional, because it requires fewer resources and can be easily scaled to accommodate large number of learners. So dahil short, so obviously your resources are also few, or your resources, or you will not need so much resources to a few content or for a smaller content. So the next question is, how are we going to design a micro-learning activities? Just like any other teaching strategy, we all start to identifying our learning objective. So that's really the basic. Identify the learning objective. What do we want to achieve in a particular activity? So what do you think? Anong gagawin? What we should do? Well, obviously, we have to look at the learning outcomes. We have to look at the course learning outcome. And we know also, like in the Philippines, we have an average to three to five course learning outcomes. And that in every learning outcomes, in the OBE format, in the outcomes-based education format, some also has certain topic competencies. Some are understanding, some are skills that need to be achieved in a certain topic. So define clear learning objective. Begin by clearly defining the specific learning that we want. Always in this time, it should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Yan talaga. In any literature about micro-learning, they always ask about their learning objective. The rubric is really smart. There's no other rubric. They just have to define operationally how to measure the specific component, the measurability, achievability, relevance, and time-bound aspect in the learning objective. Second, align with the overall learning goals. So what's this overall learning goals? Look at again your course learning outcome. So remember, the first one, define learning objective, look at your competency. Or in some other format, sometimes you call this as the key understanding in every topic. So from there, on the number two, on the second stage to that is look at the overall learning goals. Where are you going to look at? check it with the course learning outcome. Ensure that the learning objective of your micro activity align to the course learning objective in a broader goal, not just simply on a specific activity. In other words, you should be able as teacher, as academicians, or as facilitators of learning, we should be able to have a wider perspective that this activity is in relation to the next activity. And that is what we call prioritizing key concepts. Identify the most critical concepts or skills that learners need to acquire through the micro learning activity. And the last stage in identifying learning objective is consider the learner needs. Take into account the prior knowledge, skills, and learning preferences your target audience when defining learning objectives. If you notice, it's basically the same process. It's very generic, but what I wanted to highlight really is on the specific learning goal of your activity in relation to the broader goal.